Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Sam's Whiskey Bar. Today, Rod and I are in Washington, Missouri at the Washington Distilling Company to learn about Solera. There they are, hard at work. Hardly working, hard at work. Rich and Vic back there, they're lying. They're always working hard, and this is a quick run through of their facility. They do source their juice, but they do have some of their own that is not in the bottles or barrels yet. So, man, listen to what these guys got going on. Listen to this Solera process.
I was a wine guy before, and started working for Jim Beam. And one of the days there, I was having a Knob Creek. One of the many I enjoyed there. I enjoyed Knob Creek, and it was a center palate. And so it reminded me a lot of what like 100% Cabernet Sauvignon feels like on the palate. Some of them will feel like on the palate.
Okay.
And so we were doing a lot of red blends when I was in wine. That was becoming really popular. Cabernet Sauvignon hits a part of the palate. Cabernet Franc hits another part. Merlot hits another part, etc. And so you get this really round mouthfeel. And so my thought went to, man, if we were to take this and then add a different mash bill and a different mash bill, what could we get? And so that just kind of got me thinking. And then from there, I started thinking about a Solera system, you know, where the age is always kind of expanding. So the youngest really will stay about the same, but the oldest gets here. So your average doesn't change much because you're losing a lot of the older stuff, but the breadth of flavors gets greater. And so with those two things in mind, came up with doing a Solera, and then went out on my own, took 401k, started buying some older barrels. Oldest stuff at the time was 12 years old, so it was barreled in 2000. And so we had stuff from some pretty big distilleries as a base from 2000, 2001, 2004, 2006, and 2007. This was the original. So the original thing we did was same product, but it was called the Steward Solera. You'll notice on the side that the B's to the right, barrel. So this top mash bill, for example, B00, B04, B06, etc. Those are the years that they were put in. Those are the batch years that they were done. So batch numbers, because back in the day, I couldn't do. How you doing? Kurt. Hey,
the star is here.
Yeah,
the star is here.
This is our distiller and partner.
Hello, sir.
Kurt
Nothing
Klusner.
like being filmed unnoticed.
Yeah, just walked right in. But yeah, so that lets you know the batch year, so you can tell the age of the different mash bills that are in it. And then on the back, you can see the different percentages of each of the layers, which you guys will create today.
Oh, awesome.
So you'll create your own batch. Kurt does all the hard work, really, and we do the tasting, and it's kind of a fun thing. But it's really cool when we have people come in because you can create your own. So that means you're getting what you like instead of what I'm telling you to like.
Yeah.
So
100%.
That was an awesome experience.
Yeah.
What a neat deal.
So here, I'll give you a little bit more so we can go walk it, and I'll show you the Solera and how it works. But come on in. If you want to bring that, I'll show you the Solera.
Okay, so this is the Solera.
This is the Solera, yeah.
So can you just explain for the viewers just kind of what this Solera process is?
Yeah.
Because especially in the whiskey world, it's not one of those things you hear very often
It's not
at all.
Yeah, there's a few. I was one of the first, I think, to do it, but just not being like how you guys heard about me is through. If somebody gets to know what we're doing, it's through word of mouth. We don't have the money to advertise or anything like that. So there are more and more people doing it, but we were one of the first. There was another place in the Northeast that I knew of that was doing it. So there may be others, but I think we were one of the first two, as far as I know. But anyways, we bought all those older barrels and then we condensed. And so, in all these, they pretty much had them. We've got another one just like this in Colorado. We condensed all the older stuff together and then started putting in the higher barrels, the stuff that was done out in Colorado. And then, like I say, we're going from there. As we condensed, we started changing the way we did things. So these two here, and then there's two like that in Colorado. These are what's called our Evans and Pike. It's our true Solera barrel. So we pull from there. None of these, we try not to empty any of these, but that never empties. We have a cap on how much we can do, so we don't even get to half on any of these barrels. We really get it to about just over a quarter, between a quarter and a third.
And then as soon as you dump your oldest barrel, then you fill it with the next oldest.
Right.
Okay.
So what you guys will be doing will be barrels 1 through 7, and then 8 sits over here. And then so we always, like, we've got to bring in some more 8, which I always hate because that means that there's less, right? We got to get more made. But we got to bring some more in to refill on our next batch. We just made a pretty good run. And then we pull stuff out in those bottles for the people to create their own. But so when we pull from here, we fill the Solera barrel from 1, we fill 1 from 2, we fill 2 from 3, all the way down the line. So it's like a waterfall.
And then the newest stuff goes in
Layer 8. Yeah, layer 8 to layer 7.
Okay.
So
So
and
that's
if you're out
basically
of-
the process?
yeah. But everything's straight bourbon. The youngest stuff that we've put in now was, we just put in 4.5 year. But the oldest stuff now in January will be 25.
Oh, wow.
Now, obviously the 25 is getting less and less and less, and the 24
Sure.
and all those.
Sure.
But the breadth of what's in here is pretty phenomenal. And so we try and sell this between $49.99 to $59.99, and the uncut a little bit more than that, a bottle. So when
That's a
you think
great
about
price
the,
point.
yeah, when you think about you average age or whatever
Here's
you
my
want to say.
50.
Well, you got one coming, so thank you though. So, but the beauty is I bought those older barrels before the prices went nuts, and I also I kind of considered it a sunk cost. So what we do is just kind of look at, can we make any money with what our current costs are? And so that's so we do all the stuff in here based on what it current. So all the stuff we originally purchased is done, and we try and spread things out. So the reason for that is to me, it's just coming from a big company, you know the value that a lot of these guys have. And so to be small is not the consumer's fault, it's mine, right? So I've got to figure out how to compete and have a value. It's not the consumer's job to support my family. So it's my job to figure it out.
Well, you
So
put out a good product and people find out about it, word of mouth, and it takes care of itself.
hopefully
right?
somebody nice like Steve at ABV
Yeah.
sends it to somebody and they bring it to Kansas. And
You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
finds out.
I mean,
So-
what a great guy, Steve. Just how many brands has he introduced people to
Yeah.
out of that store?
hopefully people taste it and go,
Yep.
wow, for the price, that's a really, not even for that. Hopefully compared to anything, it's really good. But
Sure.
we want it to be a value too, so.
And we'll have a link in the description below for this address where you can go to get it at ABV. Because I saw they had a rum finish there when we were.
Yeah, and they did their own. So they did an uncut. Ours is at 100. But, ABV likes everything right out of the barrel. So we were looking going, okay. It actually took a bit. We were like, man, so rum and rye uncut. We were a little, he's like, can you do this uncut? I'm like, I can, but his, he knows his palate. And
He does.
we were surprised. We tasted it and we were like, this is really good. Yeah, so that's about it. I'll give you guys a taste of the true Solera barrel too, the Evans and Pike. So that's usually, you find the few stores we put it in, it'll go between, some guys will run it down to 100, even though now we're doing uncut, but it'll go between 1 and 150. And here we sell it, a little over as well. So we'll give you guys a taste of that, and then you guys will be tasting through the Solera, and you'll be able to see the differences in each layer. So even though each barrel comes through separately, each layer has also got its unique character, and that changes as we refill.
You're going to have to watch this guy as he's in your rick house because he about got us kicked out of Ben Holiday for trying to lick the candy off the barrels. So
I got my eye on
you
this
got to
piece
keep
right
an
here.
eye on it.
Just don't lick it and then go back. Just don't double dip. Other than that, we're all good.
Nope, don't do it, Jackson. Don't do it, Jackson. Jackson, don't do it. Oh, he's licking the barrel candy again. Oh God, he's licking the barrels. This son of a gun.
What you guys want to do? I mean, that's one of the things we try and do on when we bring people around, we'll grab the thief a little bit. The people we had in last night were like, come on, let's pull from the barrel. For a lot of people, it's a really cool experience. For a few,
Rod,
they're
have
not
you ever
used to
thiefed
uncut.
a barrel?
I have not.
I think you need to have Rod thief his first barrel.
We
You pop
did.
his cherry.
You know what? Grab your glasses so you can show that to folks. But that's this. This is the true Solera barrel. We do this uncut, which blows some people's head off, but there's so much flavor in this. We want people to cut it to their own liking as opposed to us.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous label too.
Oh, thank you.
Very.
Pull it up and I'll try and catch it, and
You need to cap it at all, or is it going to catch it?
it should catch it. That's good.
Well, that's some thick juice, huh?
It is. Smells great too.
Okay, put that back in. Just let it sit for a second.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is,
Cheers.
we try not to guess on the age, but I mean, nothing less than 4.5, and all that stuff's been up in here. So however long it takes for us to go through this, so
Long time.
long time. So I mean, it's got some age to it.
That's got some proof to it.
Yeah. So a little over 125 is where we've got
Okay.
it uncut.
Well, that's really good too. Just
Yeah.
straight out of the barrel.
Yeah, it's we've had a lot of people have had this, and we sell a lot of this even at the price point, just because people are like, I've never really had anything like this.
Well, that's really
The
spicy
sweetness and the
s-
spice that is on there is.
Wood and fruit and all sorts of
Yeah.
different things. So, and you'll notice.
Oh yeah,
even-
the tannins are in there like a MFer.
And you'll notice that layers one, then two, then three, those tannins start to mellow out a little bit. And so, as much as is in this, and because it's more of the older stuff, so that's why it's more expensive. But as you go through creating your own and through the Solera, through the mash build, there's a bigger breadth of flavors, I think. And so you can really create all sorts of things.
Okay.
And so somebody can come in and create, like every month. We try every batch, we try and do something a little bit different with the percentages on the back to create like I want more caramel, I want more fruit, I want lighter, I want heavy, I want spice, I want,
So you pretty much know which barrels to go to get those combinations.
No, I mean,
Because
we
it's
do
all-
by the end of it, but then as it's fixed, and that's why we pull all these cases. So you'll see the bottles are here. We were doing it all from here, and then we'd get a little bit, and then we'd have to go re-pull. And for sometimes people would want to create their own, and they would take a while, and then we'd be left not being able to move the whiskey. So we pulled a bunch and set it in back and said, okay, now we can create from there, and then we'll just refill.
Heck yeah. Well, I tell you what, this one right here, kudos
good.
on that one. That sucker is great.
I agree. I mean, that is just
Yeah.
bottle it and sell it.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's all our favorite. These guys sell it like it's water. I mean, they sell it better than I do. I'm always like, oh, I hate to ask somebody to spend that much, even though I think it's definitely worth it. But they're like, here, you got to try this. And usually we have people
entice
walk
them by
out.
giving them a sample.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. It sells itself.
Who wouldn't
right?
want to buy this? I mean, this is great juice.
Yeah.
The mouthfeel is absolutely wonderful. Get you some, Marine.
So this is the one that we talked about having that apple. We call it the EC8.
Man, that's great too. I mean, why bother mixing this stuff?
Well, and the thing about this is, so we allow people to do single barrel picks of this uncut, like you just tasted it, and so that's $29.99 is where we kind of
wow.
shoot for, to low 30s. Yeah, come on in and we'll get started with your guys' thing, and then I'll proof this and we'll see where that's at. The last one.
Well, I would say everything I've sampled so far has been top notch. Wonderful,
We got
wonderful
tons.
juice.
Thank you.
I agree.
We got tons of stuff here, but it even gets a little daunting for us sometimes.
Sure.
But far left is 1, far right is 6. And
Okay.
you've got notes. It's really good. It's for you. So go through, taste, see what layers you like, what your thoughts are on them, which ones you'd like to have in your bourbon, and then you can kind of play around. We've got the syringe. So if you just write down the milliliters on there, then I can do the math and get you the percentages. And then we'll pull from those cases that are already pulled, fill those barrels, and proof it, label it, and you guys can be on your way with your bottles.
Hell yeah. What a great experience. And anybody can come in here and get a membership and do this.
Yep, so you don't have to be a member to do it, but so it makes it much less expensive. And
man, thank you, Rich, for having us to the Washington Distilling Company. And you too can go do exactly what Rod and I did, and that is just have a good time, blend your own whiskey, taste the Solera, old barrel. So anyways, catch us next time.